Identity theft and fraud is becoming very rampant.
It is.
And most people don't understand what this can mean is if someone gets a hold of your social security number, they can file a fraudulent tax return and get a whole bunch of refund money from the IRS. Now, the IRS does a really good job of kind of figuring out whether this is real or not, because if the return doesn't match the documents that they have on hand as like a W-2, because they have a copy of that already filed with them, or 1099s, if they're not seeing those things, they'll automatically reject it. But with AI and some of the sophisticated things that are out there, people are getting better at creating these fake returns and creating huge refunds that then come back to them. And I can't tell you the number of centers. There was a big one a few years ago in Florida that had thousands of returns that were being generated out of just like a call center that people were just filing these fake returns. And that's a massive amount of fake money that's being brought in from the federal government. And here's the thing. If you don't know about it, you could receive a notice in the mail from the IRS that says, we need our money back.
Yep.
And you have no idea that this return was ever filed on your behalf.
Yeah. And I want to back up just a little bit on talking about the audit protection, Rick, because, you know, as you alluded to, it's a 3-year statute. We'll cover you for 3 years.
Yep.
Realize, guys, that it's not just the audit protection. It is also any notices or any things that come up on your account. And understand, and I know what everybody says, well, if I'm not doing anything wrong, I don't have anything to worry about. But the IRS is notorious for making mistakes.
Yes, they are.
You know, we had a client reach out to us the other day that made a $10,000 payment.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it hadn't shown up on their account. But if they have audit protection, guess what? We can go back and forth and figure that out for the client, and it doesn't cost them any additional man hours. And I will tell you that doing this for, probably close to 20 years now, that the amount of time that's involved on resolving a case with the IRS can be quite substantial.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times that we would call in, and upon calling in, either their system is down, you can't talk to an agent because their system is too busy.
Correct.
You have a dropped call. They have to escalate it because the person you first speak to is just, you know, not qualified to handle that at the time.
Yep.
And so it is a very long and drawn out process that gets very costly for the customer or for the taxpayer. So we highly recommend, and in fact, we made this part of every individual return that we do. It's just part of it, no additional cost.